Alright YouTube, we're back for another video. Hopefully you've enjoyed previous videos and you'll watch this one also. Today we're doing another Southern Maryland tradition. Southern Maryland stuffed corned hams. In Southern Maryland, don't tell somebody your stuffed ham is better than theirs. It's like the Hatfield and McCoys. Everybody thinks they make the best stuffed ham, but this one, my little sister, myself, and my brother-in-law had made a few months back, and I didn't eat it all, so I put it in the freezer, and I just saw it in the freezer, and I said, I need to use this stuff up before it goes bad. So we're going to make stuffed ham egg rolls, inspired by a place in Tall Timbers, Maryland called Chiefs. I went to a wine and booze / craft event about a year ago, and they had their truck up there, and I've always heard about these. I love stuffed ham, and I've always heard about these egg rolls, and sure enough his truck was there, so I've got to try them. They're absolutely fantastic. They're really good. So I've always in the back of my mind that I wanted to make some myself. So that's what we're doing today. Traditionally, stuffed ham is made of a number of products. It's cabbage, kale, onion, red pepper flake, onion powder or onion seed, just a number of stuff. And what you do, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can either have the ham debone, which is like my sister does. It doesn't quite give you the presentation. Sorry, sis. If you leave the bone in, like my mom had done, the ham retains its shape. And you would cut pockets in it, meaning slices into the ham, and you pack it with all this cabbage, the kale, the onion, the red peppers, etc., and into these slices that you made. And then you wrap this thing up in a cheesecloth. The extra stuffing you pack around the ham. Then you wrap it into a cheesecloth, and then you boil it for hours and hours. And I highly recommend you do this outside, because unless you're a serious stuffed ham lover, it's going to stink up your house. So that's what we got. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but I wanted to get the intro behind me, and we'll start next. We'll be back. Alright, we're back. So this probably actually isn't the most ideal way to do that, only because the ham has already been frozen, so you're not going to get some of the shreds that you'd like to have. So I'm just going to start cutting this thing up, and then chopping it up to what I feel would be acceptable for the egg roll. When Chiefs did it in Tall Timbers, Maryland, it was really fine. So they're probably doing it right out off the from right out of the pot, more or less, after it cools and allow it to rest and everything else. So we're not doing that, obviously. As I said, I needed to use this stuff up before it wasn't going to be usable anymore. But so I'm just going to start cutting this up into smaller pieces. I'm not a huge fat fan, so if I see a chunk of fat, it's coming out. I just don't really care for it. So that's basically what we're going to do with the ham, and then we're going to stuff the egg rolls. I'm waiting for my oil to come up now, and we're going to make some egg rolls. So I can already see. I really wish this stuff was a little stringier, but it is what it is. I'm just making use of what I have. I do have probably a 15-pound corned ham in the freezer already. So my intentions are to bring our video to you, and maybe that process. It's a long process. It's not for the lazy people, that's for sure, because it's a lot of stuff that you have to do when you start chopping up heads and heads of cabbage and cutting up your kale and cutting up your onions and etc. etc. It's a lot of work. My sister, once my mother passed, my sister was doing it before my mom passed, but my sister is really the only one that's doing it, religiously every year. I've never really done one. I have assisted with them in a couple of them, but not many. The first one I ever did with them was a good while back, and but the one we did here recently together with my brother-in-law and my little sister and I. I'm not leaving my second little sister out, Kathy. You're always in my thoughts, honey. But this was with Carrie. She had an event, ham stuffing event, and I thought, I need to really get involved in this, and learn how to do it a little bit more, and just, so that I know how to do it for sure, and not just be able to say I know how to do it. I can say that I've done it from start to finish. So we're going to continue chopping some of this stuff up, but as you can see, this is what goes into the ham. It's actually the cabbage, the red pepper, the kale, the onion, the yada yada yada. But it's got a number of stuff in it. It gets all chopped up, small enough to where you can, stuff these pockets in the ham. I am going to add a little bit of mustard powder to this. I remember Mom, when she did it, she would have a mustard seed. My sister, memory, I don't believe my sister did that with this ham. I don't remember the mustard seed going in, but anyhow, a little bit extra won't hurt. So we're going to go ahead and take care of the rest of this while we're waiting for the oil to come up to temperature, YouTube, and then we'll be back. All right, we're YouTube, we're back. So as you can see, I've got the ham, cabbage, kale, onions, etc., yada yada yada, already mixed up. We're going to wrap a few of these on camera, and then I'll go back off camera and finish them up. So we're just going to basically pack these in here, try to make them a little decent size to them. When I froze this stuff, I really didn't have in mind making egg rolls at first, but so I didn't really have the proper stuffing to meat ratio. So you want to fold your corners over, pinch them down here so that they'll seal. Now what you can do is just, some people will roll them up one time before they pinch the corners over, but I'm sort of liking doing it this way. One thing I did forget is that it's always a good idea to wet the corner of the rolls, the wraps, egg roll wraps, so it's got a good bind there. And I neglected to do that, so we're playing catch up now. Now, one of the things I am going to do that I'm hoping is different from Chiefs in Tall Timbers, Maryland, is that I'm going to actually put a little smoke on them before I drop them into the hot oil to fry them. So I don't know that he does that, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that he doesn't do that. I didn't taste smoke when I had him at that event. So there you have it. We're going to do that for right now. I'm only going to let them smoke for about, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes. Alright, YouTube, so there you have it. We're going to cut one of these jokers up. Everything stayed together. There was a couple of them that were borderline wanting to break open. I didn't really make any special dipping sauce. What I did use is just I'm really a fan of that stone ground brown mustard. So that's what we used. Hopefully you can see that. I think that's about as close as I can get to it. And sorry about that. I think they turned out really well, to be honest with you. So let's, I think it might be a little too hot to eat, but I'm gonna bite into it anyway. Put a little bit of this brown mustard on there. And give it a taste. Oh yeah, it's hot, that's for sure. That's good. I gotta give Chiefs a shout out though. As much as these, I like these or enjoying these and they're good, I still think Chiefs and Tall Timbers Maryland is a little bit better. Alright, YouTube, so there you have it. That's Sleeper Barbecue's attempt of making the Chiefs Southern Maryland stuffed ham egg rolls. They're out of Tall Timbers, Maryland. They're better, without a doubt. I did enjoy these. They're great, but I think the biggest difference is that he's probably making these egg rolls, you know, when the ham is fresh and made, and it's more of a shred versus a chop. I think that's the biggest difference here, is that I have a chop going on versus a shred, because mine had been in the freezer for some months, storing it because I didn't want to throw it away. But Southern Maryland stuffed ham egg rolls. I did put them on the grill on a Weber Kettle for about 15 minutes with a little bit of cherry wood. Put a little smoke on them. I think that's the difference. One of the differences, rather, from his and mine. You do taste the smoke a little bit, but it's not real noticeable. I could have left them on there a little bit longer, but I was just afraid that the rolls were going to start coming apart on me, because the moisture is what's sealing them. And I was afraid they'd start falling apart. But they held together really good. I used a stone ground brown mustard as a dipping sauce. I didn't make a dipping sauce this time, but stone ground mustard was really good. And my new Fabre Ware, I think it's 1 gallon, they consider it 4 liter maybe. 3 basket deep fryer, worked excellent again. And I'll do them again. Just next time I'll wait and make sure I shred some of that ham to make egg rolls with, instead of waiting later to where it has to be chopped instead of shredded. So thank you for watching. This is Lance, Sleeper Barbecue from Southern Maryland. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.